So, the new Amazon Seller Challenge benefit lets you dispute rulings. Amazon has launched the Seller Challenge feature, giving account health assurance sellers a new way to dispute enforcement decisions after standard appeals fail. This allows sellers to request a prioritized review within 48 hours, offering a faster path to reinstate important listings. Sellers get 3 challenge slots every 180 days and must use them strategically, as only listing level enforcement cases qualify, and denied challenges can't be retired or retried for 6 months. For Amazon sellers, this is a valuable tool, but limited opportunity to protect high performing ASINs during peak seasons, especially when unfair suspensions can hurt revenue. So, definitely curious on your guys' thoughts on this. I've got some of my own, but Chris, why don't we jump over to you first on this, since this is kind of your world that you deal with every single day with a variety of sellers.
Yeah, I mean, it's good news that this exists. I would say take it with a grain of salt at the outset until we have some experiences and some data and some specifics under us. They've made half-hearted stabs at things like this before that haven't really turned out that great.
Yeah.
So I know it's kind of wet blanket commentary, but maybe this time will be different. 3 of them in 180 days is not a lot. So maybe they just don't want to drown in them initially, which is fine. But I would just take it with a grain of salt, because actually there already are ways of doing this anecdotally outside of seller support, or, outside of the traditional Seller Central channels. There are already means of doing this that exist that people use every day by emailing appeals. So the novelty is just in the delivery. It's not necessarily a fully new system. It's just that they're trying to throw kind of, I won't say throw a bone, but they're throwing a line to people who are just chasing their own tails, going in circles on some of these appeals. Hopefully for a key ASIN, a top seller, you can break out of that, vicious cycle earlier. Maybe it'll be good for that. I was reading through some of they say they'll respond within 48 hours. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see if they actually deliver on some of these promises. Is there any indication that their heightened or escalated review process is different or better than the initial one that resulted in the appeal getting rejected? The number one problem right now is appeals get rejected constantly, all the time, and there's no rhyme or reason to why. And they're refusing, at least right now, they're refusing to part with the reasons why appeals are getting rejected. They kind of give some murky explanations, for why some pieces of an appeal might be denied, but not holistically or in any comprehensive way. Yeah. So that's the piece that would have to fundamentally change with this. If they're going to, let's say, reject your challenge, well, okay, so I burned a challenge and I've got 2 more for the next 100 and something days, but why was my challenge rejected? If they're not going to part ways with that explanation, then it's got significantly less value than otherwise.
Yeah, that is one of the most frustrating things dealing with support, I think, when, they're basically like, your appeal is denied for a reason that we can't tell you, and to get it back up and running, you have to guess what the problem is and also guess what the solution is, which we're also not going to tell you.
Yep.
And yeah, that can be very frustrating for sure.
Or account health reps give you an explanation, but it's based on their opinion and based on past conversations with similar sellers in similar circumstances. So it's not necessarily, I've got the solution that fits your situation to a T. All you have to do is write it up, show how you're going to execute it or implement it. That's kind of the way it used to work, especially when I worked at Amazon. That's what we were looking for. Somewhere over the years, that piece or two got lost in translation.
Yep. I wonder, is this just a play on Amazon? All of a sudden we have Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime TV. Is this just too many people at Amazon watching football on Prime? But here's the good news. And I think it's a little bit tricky, but Amazon is certainly listening. Like, this is something that people want. But is it, at this time, just like a lot of Amazon things. It just feels like lipstick on a pig. Like there's still
Mhm.
problems. And Chris has hit it on the head. Like at the end of this, in order for sellers to get better, we just have to learn why. Um, Here's good news in marketplace news. eBay has an authenticity program for shoes, sports cards, purses, things like that. And through their authenticity program, if your item is denied authenticity, they'll give you the reason why. And it's like a drop down thing. It's not always exactly perfect, but they do tell you why. And the example that came through our office the other day was a sports card was slabbed by PSA, like the number one third party authenticator. So it's good. It goes to the authenticator, but the authenticator didn't like the third party authenticator of said third party PSA said that the seller did not disclose a scratch on the PSA slab. And so that was enough for them to reject the authenticity of the item. Seems a little crazy, but it did get rejected for one of our clients. And so it's out there. Like if eBay can do it, Amazon can certainly do it. So it's probably coming.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it's execution will be everything, as you mentioned, Chris. And hopefully this combined with the seller support AI chatbot, assuming that it's trained properly, it would be nice if the AI is able to resolve a majority of the common situations that people deal with. And then those uncommon ones where you just get stuck in the loop, you can use one of these challenges to break out of it and actually talk to a human and get it resolved. But that'll be interesting to see too, right? With the AI, obviously they're trying to use that to replace their frontline seller support people. So is this going to be the way that Amazon is going to allow you to actually talk to a real human in the future, perhaps?
You can talk to real humans now. I don't know if that's the answer. A lot of account health reps give paradoxical or contradictory guidance and advice. Yeah. Some of that is because they don't know the why. They might want to tell you the why, but they either don't know or they can't locate it.
Yeah, we have the same thing. We talk to live humans all the time too, and yeah. It's with limited success. I would just say if you it takes way too long, of course.
Yeah.
But success is out there. Just it's a long way to get there.
Not every day is Seller Cafe. I mean, if you went to Accelerate, a lot of people reported a lot of good. I mean, I definitely had some good experiences with sitting with somebody, getting to the crux of the matter quickly. I mean, if you could simulate that on an hourly or daily basis when there aren't conferences in Seattle with thousands of people, if we can get to that, then great. But I don't know if that's what this is.
Yeah. Well, have you had much experience with the AI chatbot yet for seller support, Chris?
We don't do much with support. For us, support kind of jumped the shark a long time ago.
Okay.
And I mean, for certain things, let me be more specific. For account compromises, for technical issues, for getting to catalog teams, for very precise, specific functional stuff, we go through support. Not for appeals, not for anything outside of pretty much those three things I just mentioned. And the new challenge is a pilot, right? I mean, it's kind of being dribbled out very slowly. So I haven't seen much. I certainly haven't seen enough, experience or data to say like, oh, this is clearly the direction it's going to take. I think this is a means of, ideally they would have tested it over the summer. So it's kind of, cruising altitude by fall and by Q4, and that's not how it went. But I guess this is an attempt to like somebody gets a major listing down in Q4 and they don't have 7 days to get it back up. They're losing too much revenue or 2 weeks or whatever. Yep. So they want to throw a line, like, well, let's try this. Maybe some people can get a listing back up in 48 hours. And I mean, if that's true, then that's great because this is the best time of year to have that kind of problem solved quickly. But the AI stuff, we mostly experience their AI with listing takedowns that are erroneous. And we're doing appeals for like, we looked at what happened. We can see what you're trying to do. but that's not what happened, And fortunately, we can report that a lot of that is fixable quickly. We haven't heard too many nightmares of like, clearly AI misfired, took my listing down, and it's been 21 days. Like I don't hear that too often. So
Okay. Yeah, I get a lot of AI breaking up variations incorrectly. That's the thing that I'm battling all the time. Especially, I sell a lot of stuff in, say, the fishing niche, and the colors there are like pumpkin watermelon and crawfish and names like that, that if you're into fishing, it makes sense, what those colors are. But I can imagine the AI is probably like, well, these aren't colors, these are animals or something, And so it's breaking up those variations, and then we got to recreate them and just wait for when it gets broken up again. So, but yeah, hopefully over time it'll get better and learn those kind of things.
You must have infinite patience, Todd. You must just,
No,
your yoga routine
that's why
is
I hire
working.
people to do that stuff now. No, that I had to give up talking with seller support a while ago because I just quickly get to the point of swearing at them now, and that doesn't help anything. So I outsource that to my employees as much as possible. Yeah. But I did notice the a little bit of ambiguity in there. We aim to respond to all cases in 48 hours. So they're giving themselves that wiggle room to not respond in 48 hours if they have to. But
also imagine that people are going to internalize all that info. And so sellers are already using 48 hours as a clock in their head. Mm-hmm. And if they don't hear back, I don't know if Amazon realizes if those 2 days come and go and it's peak holiday Q4 time where you're losing more sales, they're going to generate a bunch of new contacts from the sellers who don't hear back in a timely manner, either complaining that they haven't heard back or sending an appeal the old way or current ways. And then there's going to be some more spin in like a side channel or a parallel funnel of appeals. So you have to anticipate that's going to be going on, where they might be looking at one part of it, but not the recent thing you sent in. That's how it goes now, right? People send in multiple appeals. They read one and the other two are floating around somewhere. So.
Yeah. And that's something with Amazon, it just can be expected, I think, with every other thing they've launched in the past, like AWD, for example. They make giant claims with that and push everyone to use it as their upstream storage. And right now you can't even send a box into AWD. The last I tried, not even a UPS box. So they're so overloaded, and we're just at the beginning of Q4, but yet, you're still getting charged storage fees, high storage fees and FBA and everything else. And it's not possible to use the upstream storage that they have. So with everything Amazon, I'm sure there's going to be hiccups and issues and taking longer than 48 hours. With the AI that they're implementing, again, assuming that they're going to do it correctly, with multiple cases floating around, say on the same thing, hopefully the AI would be smart enough to be able to, bring those together and actually collect all that information and make a resolution quicker. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Sometimes AI can be a blessing. Sometimes it can be a curse, depending on what you're trying to get it to do. Like, for example, with the news, right? I've been playing with trying to get AI to go out and search for news to use. And it's so difficult because I'm like, try to find me news in the last 7 days about Amazon. And gives me news articles from like 2024 and earlier 2025. It'll give me like index pages of lists of articles and stuff. And it's just, it can be helpful with a lot of things, and other things, not so much. Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. It's good that they're trying. I just hope that it works for people, because seller support has long been a frustration for a lot of people.
I think you're right. They're rotating those people out instead of trying to fix the way it is now. It's going to be something different in the future with fewer people, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. AI, they're trying to replace the frontline people with AI. And if done right, it could be a lot better because AI can process, decades of queries very quickly and hopefully come up with the right answer, but that's only if it's done correctly.